guys, we just highlighted the Cincinnati Bengals. Pat P gave his perspective about Cincinnati, played against them in the first ball game of the season in 2021. He also had an opportunity to play against the Los Angeles Rams. And defensively, the Vikings did a real good job. They lost that ball game by 7 points. The score was 30-23. But overall, you guys did some dynamic things against Matthew Stafford. He didn't have the ideal Matthew Stafford-like numbers. 197 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Pat P, how were you guys able to create those interceptions against a real established, experienced quarterback in Matthew Stafford?
I think we were able to get to him a lot in that game, as far as the defensive line getting in his face, forcing those ill-advised throws, forcing those untiming throws, not having him able to set his feet on certain throws. So I just think we had an opportunity to rattle him a lot in that game, kind of make those windows tight for him, have him move around in the pocket a lot. Because one thing quarterbacks don't like, they don't like happy feet. They like to be settled and be able to have opportunity to deliver the ball on time. And, that's what we were able to – we did a great job of not making him comfortable in the pocket. Unfortunately, came up short in that ball game. But I thought on the defensive side of the ball, I thought we played outstanding because we all know what the Rams can do on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. And one thing in that to highlight, you guys were hitting him. He got hit a lot. And if you look at Matthew Stafford's numbers throughout 2021, the good games compared to the bad games, number-wise, he's been hit. He's been tagged a lot, and you guys were able to do that. But leading into the season, you were so high on Matthew Stafford when you found out he was getting traded to the Los Angeles Rams because you said talent-wise, we know what type of talent he is. But now being able to be around a more stable, structured offense, he would get a chance to show the world what type of player he can be. His postseason stats are 72. He's completing 72% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 41 passing TDs this year. That ties a Rams single-season record. What have you seen from Matthew Stafford? I mean, the entire season based on what he's been able to do for the Rams.
Being able to be around talent, you know what I mean? Not having to force feed Calvin Johnson the football, because that just makes a quarterback predictable. Knowing you got 81 out there, you have nobody else out there, that can beat you. So where the ball is going. But like now, he can literally give the ball to anybody on the field. Who's ever suited up on that Rams on the offensive side of the football can get the football. And I think that's what's making him that much more special because now he have options. He when he feel like, if he need to bail out a throw, he don't have to heave it 60, 50 yards down the field to Calvin Johnson. He can just dunk it down to your running back, to Akers, to Cooper Kupp, who's always in the flats. You got Odell. You got so many more weapons, so much more in your arsenal now, to where you don't have to put everything on your shoulders now. You just get the ball where it needs to be a general at the quarterback position, and just watch everything unfold. And that's what's been happening this year.
Yeah, and you talked about 2 guys. I mean, Cooper Kupp he's been a terror. Won the Triple Crown this year. Talk about how difficult it is to cover a guy like Cooper Kupp, who's usually in the slot, and he runs what we call a lot of option routes. Break down how difficult it is to cover someone who has an option of running either direction based on what he's seen from the defender. How difficult is that, Pat P?
The Rams do a good job of not only putting him in position to be successful, but they do a great job of scheming him open. And when I say about scheming him open, they have him in a lot of stack formations to where he's going to run pick wheels, pick rub routes. He's going to run option routes. They do a great job of scheming Cooper open. And I think that's what separates him from a lot of the other receivers, is that the Rams, Sean McVay and Kevin, do a great job of getting him the ball in so many different creative ways. And I think that's what makes him so difficult because you don't know how he's going to get the ball. He can get the ball on the screen. He can get the ball on a jet sweep. He can get the ball on the option route. He can even take the ball. He can even get the ball on the post corner. Like he can run. He got so much stuff in his arsenal to where it's almost like he's unguardable. But if you watch enough film, like I do, you'll get enough telltales.
Well, fill us in a little bit. I mean, you had a luxury of playing against Cooper Kupp a lot and the Rams when you were in AZ, and we know you're a master of the game when it comes to studying film. Is there any little cool nuggets you can kind of give us? Because we're fans of the game. We're going to watch the game. You know what I mean? We might see Cooper Kupp line up in a stack alignment and be like, you know what, Pat P told us when Cooper Kupp gets in this formation to kind of watch out for this route or that route. Is there any little insights based on what you've seen? And you played against the Rams that you can kind of help us with for Sunday?
Well, at least with one of them. Anytime that Cooper Kupp was lined up with Odell never ran a 7 route. He always ran. They ran Cooper Kupp on the option.
Hold on, Pat P. Coach P, what is a 7 route? Got to, number wise, you got to actually break it down for some people who might not know what a 7.
A 7 route is basically a corner route. So 10 to 15 yard, streaking route, then he breaks off to the corner, wherever the ball is on the field. But anytime that Cooper Kupp lined up with Odell, this is when, in my film breakdown, when we was watching him, he always ran the option, and Odell always ran the in-breaking route, almost 100% of the time. Anytime he came on a jet sweep, go ahead.
I'll say, is that a stack alignment or just on the same side?
That's a stack alignment. They're already in the stack alignment. Odell is on the ball, and Cooper Kupp is off the ball. Anytime, they run this a couple different ways. Anytime they motion, so anytime they play action with Cooper, because they like to do this a lot with Cooper Kupp, they like to bring him down in that snug alignment to where he's like in a dirty line, a dirty split, but right behind the tackle or the tight end. Anytime they give a play action away from him, it's a play action. That means he's going to run like they run like a naked boot, or he's running like that over route. Anytime action is to him, it's a running play because he's their best blocking receiver.
No question.
Those are some of the things that you can look up as well. I mean, I don't have my notes in front of me, man. There's so many things that I have written down that I can just blabber off of on. But those are just some of the things that I can remember just vividly, just off the top of my head.
Well, Coach Pat P breaking this down, schooling us a little bit, also giving you guys some things to look for when you watch the game Sunday, because the same routes that he just talked about, you better believe they will be ran. Oh, they were running those plays. They always have go-to plays. It's like when you play Madden, right? When you play a video game, you got go-to plays. It don't matter how many times you run that play. When you need to go get something, guess what? You're going to go to the go-to plays. And Pat P know all about that because I used to run a lot of go-to plays on Pat P Madden.
Play in the red zone is definitely that 7 route.
Oh, that 7 cut is coming.
Man, hey, that's coming.
Yeah. You kind of saw that it was almost a wheel option we saw in the highlight when he ran on Williams to San Francisco. But Cooper Kupp is a guy.
That was like that pick wheel I was talking about.
That pick wheel, yeah. They do a great job. You said something that was so important regarding the Rams. They do a great job in scheming guys open, just based on scheme alone. You know what I mean? And then when you factor in the athleticism that those guys have, good luck in trying to be successful. So great breakdown from Pat P, a guy who's a student of the game. Hopefully you guys get a chance to kind of, get your Tony Romo on Sunday when you see a certain formation, be like, Pat P told us they're going to run X, Y, and Z. Let's see if it happens. But we